Hey guys, I'm Grestar, and how about we react to RWBY, Volume 3, Chapter 5, Never Miss a Beat. As with my other RWBY reactions, this video will only include me, so if you would like to watch the actual RWBY episode along with me, make sure to click here. It will take you to Rooster Teeth's YouTube channel under the RWBY playlist, right to the video that I'm using. So it should have better synchronization than, say, the Netflix or DVD versions, but I will include a timestamp here in this corner, so just open this in another window or another tab, or download it, and then we'll synchronize it up, and hopefully it'll be great. So last time, we did get to see Team Coffee, or at least Coco and the other dude, fight against Mercury and Emerald, and surprise, surprise, Mercury and Emerald kicked butt. Like, they really beat the other two. So that means that they're moving on to the singles round, and then, well, I mean, I say singles round, but it's like then it's another tournament set up from there, so eventually there will only be one victor, but I guess we still have multiple battles until that point. Like, we still have the other double battles to see, but we also have the rest of Volume 3 to go through, so I assume actually that Volume 3 is gonna have a lot of these fights for most of it until there comes the point where, like, the real conflict actually begins. Like, the final phase is kind of put into motion of, like, Cinder's plan or whatnot. Because right now, I'm still thinking that she is mostly in charge. I just believe in the possibility that she's also a pawn of sorts, at least. So aside from that fight, there was also Weiss talking with Winter, and it made me feel a lot better about Winter. Yeah, better, not bitter. Good, you know, clarification to make. As a character, because we did get to see that Winter does seem to care about Weiss as, you know, the little sister. And that means a lot to me, those kind of family ties. So I'm really glad to see that Winter is not purely a jerk, that she does have that side to her. So yeah, I'm glad they included that. But she's already gone. The only other thing that I remember from the episode was Crow and, you know, like playing games and talking with RWBY and Yang about his, you know, mission. And then a little bit about how their team started. Or not how their team started, but how they were the best team. It was Team Stark. And so, you know, it was Summer Rose, T. I don't know their dad's name. R. Raven, whatever her last name is, but it's Yang's mama. And then Crow, the Q for Stark, yeah. And so it was them, and they were all on a team, and he said that's where he met their parents, and so it's possible that he's not directly related to them, but I'm inclined to think that he is directly related to them. I just don't know for sure. Anyway, that's all that really happened last episode, so now this one, Never Miss a Beat, I am not sure where we're going to go with this, because we didn't leave off on anywhere in particular. I believe the last thing that happened was Winter left, you know, Winter Shinny left. So we could be into another double fight. We could see more talking with Ozpin and Ironwood and Crow. We could see more between Team RWBY or Team Juniper. I don't know. I think the best way to find out is to watch the episode. So with that, let's get to watching. Alright guys, here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, play. And when I say play, you hit play. Ready? Let's do this. 3, 2, 1, play. Alright, intro time. Different intro. Oh, okay, this is for RWBY. I don't actually remember what it's called. I was like, this is a weird time to have a new intro, like on the 5th episode, but nah. Really don't remember what it's called. Grim Eclipse. I knew it was Grim something. Which I think I already have, actually. I've owned it for a while. I buy games when they're on sale if I have extra money, you know, because you never know when I'm going to play it. Let's Player. That's what I do, so. Yup. We just gotta wait through the intro, you know? But I'm still watching it, hoping to pick up on different things, you know, so forgive my silence. But, you know, the hope is that you're also watching this with me and not just watching me. Watching me alone would be boring. I'm aware of that, because I do that to, like, make sure the video's good and to get a thumbnail image and stuff, so. Also, I'd like to point out, Yang's mama does not have the same hairstyle as Yang. Maybe she did in that scene that we saw her in, but I remembered her having spiky hair, and she's had spiky hair every time in this, like, that picture of her in the intro. Did she just not have spiky hair in that last dream sequency reveal? Because I swear their hair was different. And that's from Team Cardinal. Is it fair to have an android as part of a team for... I don't know. That brings up all these moral questions. These ethical dilemmas. Oh dear. And not that I dislike Penny, I'm just questioning that. I'm like, do they know that she's not human? Like, do the other people? Okay, so I'm gonna say she is heavier as a robot. Okay, that just makes you weird. Are you a robot too? Oh. So she's not a robot. I mean, Penny is. The other one is not. Okay. She's just weird. Hmm. Okay, goodbye. Yay, fighting. Sweet. Okay. Or you could get her. Oh, shame that. Hmm. I feel like her attention has some deficits. Right, you got this. I'm on for Team RWBY on this one, guys. Believe it or not. So I know we've barely seen any of the girl, but she's already making me think of Nyan Cat. It's, I mean, I assume just the rainbow trailing, but... Or is that a real tail behind her? I don't know. I think it is a real cat tail. It is Nyan Cat. I'm going with it. Alright, you just took all that beating, now you're stronger, right? Oh. Come on, kick her butt, Yang! Okay, so that's his theme. I'm like, for a minute, is he playing that? Oh, snap! He burned you! Oh. He could do that. Yes, go on. Alright, well that's good enough. Thank you, Oobleck, at least for not only doing it once. So mean. Oh. Oh, they both fell in. Hmm. Well, good on her, then. Uh-oh. That sacrifice didn't really work out then, did it? Ah, I know that reference. Who doesn't, but I do. Neon, yep. Neon Katt. I mean, I don't know if her last name's Katt, but it's determined at this point. Please kick their butts, Yang. Never miss a beat. Ah, that's their thing. Oh. I was like, was she just accepting defeat there? Kinda, yeah. She kinda did just accept defeat there. Alright. It's okay, I haven't heard you sing in a long time. No. Alright, well good. At least they're good sports about it in the end. A lot of trash talking during the battle, but at the end, you know, not bad sports. You do push-ups? I only see you kick, like ever. Ah. Okay. I still don't know what the initial plan was. Now I just know it involves Penny. Like, now it involves Penny. The Tin Man he is. Hmm. I feel like even though it ended on Pyrrha, that he was talking about RWBY. Partly biased because the show kind of centers around RWBY. But it could be about Pyrrha. I just don't think that they would have made it that obvious that it was about Pyrrha. I feel like it was just coincidental. I mean, like, they kind of wanted you to think that it was Pyrrha when they cut to Pyrrha at the end. But I totally think it's RWBY. I mean, RWBY even earlier talked about how, like, she wasn't sure why, Ozpin, like, let her go to Beacon, bumped her up those 2 grades, but, if he believes that she's the one, then that would make sense. Of course, it makes sense for Pyrrha, too, because Pyrrha's, like, one of the best fighters there, but anyway. So this episode was 13 minutes and 9 seconds long, and now it's time to continue talking about it, because we already did talk about it and everything. So, just to reiterate, yeah, I don't think that Pyrrha is the one Ozpin was referring to. I think they were trying to make it seem like it was, because again, cutting to her at the end there, but I think he was really referring to RWBY. I could very well be wrong. Or maybe he is referring to Pyrrha, and then it's going to end up being RWBY, but I think that RWBY is going to be the Guardian in the end. Largely, again, because of the bias that this show is called RWBY, RWBY's the main character, etc. So about that fight, we had Team RWBY against Team FNKI, and that was Neon Katt. Like, don't argue, that was Neon Katt. But I don't know who the other guy was, because I'm kind of thinking at this point that they were like memes was what that team's base was, because the teams kind of sometimes have like things they're based off of. And I'm inclined to think now that that one is based on memes, but I can't think of what he would be. The closest I can think of is just Sax Guy, but that wasn't a saxophone, so I don't know. So this wasn't my favorite fight, largely because there wasn't a lot of like action, at least hand-to-hand action. A lot of it was like either, the one music dude just kind of like standing there, and he just had his like long range attacks, and then the other Neon Katt was like constantly running pretty much, and we didn't get to see a lot of the hand-to-hand kind of stuff that I personally enjoy. So this might be someone else's favorite fight, of course. It didn't appeal to me entirely. I liked it well enough where I'm not gonna like say that it was a bad fight or anything, or that it was a waste of an episode, shouldn't have been aired. It just wasn't my favorite fight of the fights so far. Even, just considering the tournament fights. But we did get to see, Weiss sacrifice herself for Yang, which was nice, a good team player there. Even if it didn't completely take out whatever his name was, it did lower his health, or his aura. Basically the same thing, in this regard at least. I know the aura is more like a force field than anything, but, it helps determine their overall health, so I'm gonna count it. And so, I'm glad Yang won in the end. Kind of weird how it happened. Like, I thought it was really cool how she took out the music dude. Like, even though he was doing the whole sound wave thing, Yang used her shotguns to just kind of propel herself through it anyway, and then, just got him. As for Neon Katt, and I'm calling her that, I don't know if her last name was actually Katt, and I know her first name was Neon, but if you say Neon fast enough, it just becomes Non, or Nyan, because Neon, Nyan, 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 Ha! Educated, if you didn't know that. Anyway, she tripped, and then Yang got her with one blast. And I don't even think she was very injured at that point. From what I remember of seeing like their health aura bars, she seemed okay. But I guess that blast was enough. Maybe it was because Yang was angry enough or injured enough by that point that she was stronger, but I thought that more just accounted for her physical stuff, not really like her shotgun bullets. So I don't know exactly how that works, but hey, what we do know is that Team RWBY won, and now either Yang or Weiss is going to move on to the single fights, and I'm going to put money, figuratively speaking, because I don't really put money on stuff, on Yang. I mean, I definitely wouldn't literally put money on Yang, because that would be weird. And impossible, because she's fictional. I mean, like, I could find a girl who looks like Yang and then throw money at her, but then I'd probably be charged for harassment. Oh yes, before that fight, we did see Penny's fight, but it started near the end, and Penny just kind of decimated it, and so I question, the morality of having an android take part in this contest that's about, humans growing stronger and everything. And I guess some people are probably arguing that Penny deserves as, everything that another human would, that Penny is a real living creature. I would disagree, and again, this isn't because I dislike Penny, but just the fact that she has, I mean, I guess it all comes down to what is human, you know, what is it to be human? I don't think that she should be enslaved or anything because she's not human, but I do think that there is a distinction to make. She can generate an aura. Does that mean then that she has a soul? And if so, how does an android have a soul? So, you know, there's certain questions that I would have to have answered before I could make any definitive statements on how I feel about it. But right now, because I don't have those things, I just kind of have to side with, you know, like, go on this, err on the side of caution. There we go. I have to err on the side of caution and just be like, I'm not sure she should have been allowed to do this, you know, like, necessarily speaking. But hey, she won. I'm still glad she's in the picture. Like, honestly, I don't find her as annoying as other people. Like, Neon Katt, I found really annoying. But that's okay. So, like, I'm glad that she's still friends with RWBY, and I still hope for the best for Penny. And kind of scary to see now that Cinder has an interest in her. I don't want to see, you know, Penny be corrupted. Like, I don't think that she would be of her own. Like, I don't think she would actually be corrupted. I think she would be, like, messed with, like, hacked in that, you know what I mean? Because she's an android. Yeah, so you should know what I mean. So we'll have to see what happens with that. And then at the end there, with, you know, just talking about Ironwood, it's hard. Like, there's still all that conflict there within them because they're all supposedly at least going for the same thing, which is just the safety of everyone. Like, they know that there's an enemy out there with a big old plan. They don't know what the plan is, and so, you know, Ironwood has all these defenses, but then, you know, Ozpin and the others are like, okay, this is just making things worse because now people are afraid and all that junk. So it's just that conflict is still going on. Like, none of them have forgotten about it. There's still that, like, palpable tension in the air. But, you know, nothing has come of it quite yet. We'll just have to wait a little bit longer. So I think that's all I have to say about this episode. Let me know what you thought about this episode in the comments below, whether you liked it, whether you disliked it, what you thought about this or that, etc., and so on and so forth. Then I would remind you now, please do not post spoilers. You can talk about this episode, anything that happened before, but please do not talk about anything that happens after this point. Don't spoil me, don't spoil other people in the comments. That's just not a respectful thing to do. So please be nice, please be respectful, and don't do that. But with that, we're calling it here. Cue outro, go!